tēnei poa mo te kemua poiuka. Welcome back to continued coverage here from the 2023 National Softball Fast Pitch Secondary Schools Championship here. On day 3, we're up to semi-final time. It's the big one. It's the boys. The big boppers are in the house. Shirley High School taking on Alfriston. Shirley, one of the local high schools here in Otautahi, Christchurch. And Alfriston, one of the big boppers coming out of South Auckland in this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to Whakaato Māori Active YouTube channel, of course Softball New Zealand as well. It's been our privilege to bring you that presentation on behalf of all of the rohe and the kura that have turned up here for the first 3 days of action. Has simply been go to the woes. Fantastic indeed. I'll leave you with our 2 commentators for this game. It'll be Damien Collins and Carl McElroy.
Thank you, Chopper. Kia ora and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dynasty Ballpark here in Christchurch for the 2023 Softball New Zealand Secondary Schools National Championships. It's Division 1 time. It's the major semi-final. Group A, the leader of that one taking on number 1 in Group B. It's Alfriston taking on Shirley Boys High School. Damien Collins with the play-by-play. And joined in the booth, Carl McElroy calling the colour. G'day, Carl.
G'day, Damien. Good afternoon. Nice to be here. Fresh afternoon down here in Christchurch.
One I'm sure you're used to down here, mate.
Maybe not in March.
Well, we've had ourselves a season. We started it all down back in NFC right here at Dynasty Ballpark, and we're going to finish it off right here at Dynasty Ballpark. And new infield, mate. You happy about how it's turned out?
Yeah, it looks great. Haven't had a chance to play on it yet. It's only really just been finished at the back end of the season. So this
2 was finished this morning or yesterday afternoon.
There you go. Yeah, a few delays getting the turf down. So it's been out of action here for about 8 or so weeks. But good to see some games on it.
Absolutely. I'll let you do that one. I'll ride on this one. Well, on the hill is Rico Ratu throwing it in for Shirley Boys. Both teams undefeated through pool play to get themselves in the top spot. Big hit. It's going back. It's going to hit the 1 or 2 bounces, hits the fence. Going to score 1, going to score 2, and go standing up into 3rd is Hunter Bailey.
Yeah, fantastic piece by Hunter. He's hitting in the 6th slot and doing the pitching for Alfriston today. And loaded bags opportunity and comes up with the goods. Bases clearing triple.
Absolutely. Left field just couldn't get to it. Made all the attempts in the world, but he just has it go over his head. Well, that's going to bring in Violin Tapaki, the first base for Alfriston. Alfriston from South Auckland taking on Shirley Boys from right here in Christchurch. Must be cold out there. There's a few boys with hoodies underneath their playing top.
Absolutely. You'd be lucky if it's 7 degrees out there at the moment, I think.
I love our summer sport. Well, driven down to the shortstop, Hapeni Kumurua, who makes the play over to first, and that will retire the side, but not before they score 3 from the loaded bases hit to start this ball game. 3-0. We're going to be back with the bottom of the first. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dynasty Ballpark for the major semi-final of Division 1 Boys National Secondary Schools Championship. Alfriston taking on Shirley Boys High School. Alfriston with a good start, driving in, we think 3 runs. We're just going to get that clarified. Oh, no, they've updated the scoreboard. Yes, it is 3 runs. You're right, Carl. Well done. And now Shirley Boys are going to answer back by coming in and trying to get going with the sticks. They had a good game earlier today against St Patrick's College Silverstream, getting the dub over them. And it seemed in easy fashion, just doing the hard graft throughout the game to get a good win over a good side who are now playing over on 2, with the winner of that playing the second place of this one. So we're on the home stretch towards Championship Friday. That sounds weird saying that one. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A1 versus B1. We'll see what Shirley have to do with the sticks. Well, leading off for the Shirley Boys High School team is Dane Jorgensen from the left field, Rico Ratu in the 2 spot, Kapeni Kumarua, the shortstop in the 3, Leroy Cherry in at 4. In the 5 spot is Kairo Asifo, the catcher in at 5. The 6 spot, Naaki Kennedy, 7, Blake Knighton, 8, Keegan Piper, and 9, Yuki Mori. And Dane's been a good lead-off for this team throughout the last couple days. Getting on base most of his at-bats. Haven't seen any stats just yet, but I'm sure he's on there.
Yeah, it's exactly what you ask for in a lead-off role. Patient at-bats, seeing plenty of pitches. And when the right one comes about, he gets the bat off the shoulder.
Absolutely. Well, the left fielder, batting left-handed, has a 2-2 count. Looking to start strong for the Shirley Boys team here. Big swing and a miss for the strikeouts. And that's a good start there for the pitcher, Hunter Bailey, for Alfriston. And from one pitcher to another, it is Rico Ratu. He's been doing all the heavy lifting for Shirley Boys and been doing it well. And of course, with a surname like that, you'd expect it.
A lot of these boys will be familiar with one another from a lot of rep tournaments earlier in the year. I think a few of these boys playing for counties, Alfriston, and then the Shirley Boys side locally, a number of them Canterbury reps, and also playing club ball together, I think. I recognise a few familiar faces down there with the PCU club. It's
definitely been played in good spirits, I have noticed, over the last couple of days. Little digs and banter on the diamond. Once outs are made or runners are on base, all played in good spirits, and that's exactly what we want to see here at our National Secondary Schools Tournament. Rico Ratu off the handle, pops it up to the first base. Vailin Tapaki, who makes the catch for the second outs. And with 2 down, that's going to bring out the shortstop, Hapeni Kimarua.
Yeah, good start here by Alfriston. Pitcher Hunter Bailey throwing plenty of strikes on the mound, nice and early.
Well, the first offering is up top for the ball. One thing I've definitely noticed here over the last few days, Carl, is just everyone backing up everyone. You know, like colleges, you're not expecting really to have good hard hit down the hot corner, but Murray Tururi makes the play over to first for the third out, and that will retire the side with a quick 3 up and 3 down. We've got one completed in this one with Alfriston taking an early lead, 3-0. Welcome back to Dynasty Ballpark here in Christchurch, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2023 Softball New Zealand Secondary Schools Division 1 Boys Tournament. It's Alfriston taking on Shirley Boys High School in the major semi-final to book their spot in tomorrow's grand final of the Division 1 Boys. First offering to the batter, Jazan Tapaki is fouled away.
A good healthy cut. First pitch for the 8-hitter.
Leaves that one on the outside for the 1-1 count. Through the zone for the strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carl, you still involved with Papanui, is it?
Yep, still coaching the Papanui side. It's my 5th year, just gone.
What title are you up to, mate? 5 from 5, is it? Yeah, okay. Just quietly, humble, I like it. Well, Jackson tells everyone what number you guys are up to, so I thought... Thought I'd ask.
Had a good wee run down here. Like to take a little bit more of that success at a national level, though. To be fair,
yep.
That's sort of on the cards for us. We've just got to work a little bit harder, and good things will happen.
Well, you got to be pretty happy with how your age group's coming through. You know, your 117s girls, 1 boys, 19s, runners up, was it? And runners up in 19 girls as well. So no, you guys have definitely got a good setup in here, and the nation's noticing.
Nice wee tidy up by Rico over to first base for the first out. Good run. Got some good coaches involved for the age group teams down here at the moment.
Yep.
And that knowledge sort of feeds through, and you can see it in the results. So had a similar instances, a number of years ago when we had some good success with the rep sides, and then it showed in the years to come thereafter with it flowing into our Red Sox and Red Hawks programs.
Outstanding. Oh, in a bat now for Alfriston is the left fielder, Jason Rosehill. In the 9th spot. What I was saying earlier, Carl, is with the high schools, usually, I know back in my day, like it was only like 4 of us ballers and the rest were extra cricketers or whatever. But noticing these teams around, there's a lot of good talent in there with, what I can see as ballers. But the boys around them are actually supporting them and doing, asking heaps of questions, heaps of energy, and it seems to be a really good mix of everything that I've seen so far.
Yeah, you did right. A number of softballers in the club, from the club scene, and mixed in with a few cricketers sprinkled in the mix, and getting a wee taste of softball, which is great to see. Trying something different. That's what secondary school sport's all about. Trying something different that you probably don't do on a Saturday.
It's pretty much the only reason I went to secondary schools was to play sport. So,
yeah, fair. But yeah, good to see the likes of the Shirley boys side playing in the Div 1 competition.
Yeah, long time steward in the Division 2, making the step up to Division 1 this year.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, definitely remember that way back in the day when I was playing secondary schools. They always had a team in the local competition, but back then you actually had to qualify, winning your region. I'm pretty sure.
That's right.
So,
yes, you did. I remember losing our final 1-0.
Yeah, a lot of
Corey Wallace put me over the fence.
A lot of good schools miss out, but I think it's open entry. I think these days.
Big shot down the hot corner, dribbles into left field, and Rosehill will stand up on second base for the double. And Alfriston here to get their sticks going for sure.
Yeah, good bit of hustle from the 9-hitter. You know, that could have been just a simple jog down to first base, but just running hard that first one and gave himself an opportunity to stretch it out into a double.
Well, now batting for Alfriston is their lead-off batter, Jackson Tapaki, from the second base.
Got Alfriston off to a good start in the first innings, led off with a single out to right field.
Yeah, that hit happening just before we got live. We were all ready to go. And then computers said no. Well, big hit going to centre field. Unable to get it. Bounces off the glove. They'll tag up with their runner and score at home. Rosehill will score at home. Well, Jackson Tapaki safe on second base. And Alfriston now adding another run to their total. We'll take it up to 4-0 as we are in the top of this second innings. Alfriston calling time. Just going to have a quick korero on the mound there. Tell me, Carl, I haven't been out there just yet, but what I see from looking into that mound, is it built into the actual diamond, or is it just...
No, I think it's just a mat on top.
Mat on top?
Yeah, pinned down on top, so it's at the same surface
There's
level.
no lip on it, that's all.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yep, nice consistent playing surface. You're not going to get any bad hops out there.
No.
Fielding on
No.
a carpet.
Yeah. Yep. Well, they put Cohen Bailey straight on. They're not going to have him do anything in the batter's box. So they create the force at 3 with the 1 down. But 2 runners on, they're going to bring to bat Karios McCabe, the catcher in the 3 spot. Catchers in a 3 spot. Oh, you'd be expecting them to hit, wouldn't you? And he got it early, got it big, and it jumps into left centre. Tapaki will tag up at second base. Was it Cohen at second base?
Cohen's still parked up on first. No opportunity for him to get down to 2. I was just going to touch on that previous hit that went out to centre field with quite a strong breeze coming in over the centre field shoulder. It was a hard hit ball, but it just seemed to die up there, and that's why it just dropped on him early. So he made some good adjustments on that fly ball out to centre this time round.
Well, I know at Fraser Park, mate, our wind actually helps us going from home plate out. So it's coming from centre field at Dynasty, is it?
Yeah, this
today
time
anyway.
Yep.
Well, they take the cheeky second with the runners on the corner to Alfriston. 2 out, 1-1 the count. 2 runners in scoring position. And Nate Murray, the centre fielder, in a bat.
Certainly brought the bats in this one, the Alfriston side. You know, their run through pull play, and that one is hit hard out to centre field.
Very hard out to centre field. Round second goes running into 3 with a slide and stand up. Alfriston are here to play. And Shirley boys, who have done so well throughout this tournament, don't know what to answer with 3 big smacks to the outfield in a row. Alfriston take an early lead, 6-0, with 2 down at the top of the second. Inside pitch is the first offering for a ball. Bowed away, takes the count to 1-1.
Just going to say earlier, Alfriston, they haven't scored too many runs through their pool games. Relatively close, sort of 5-1, 5-2. But in this one, they've come out of the blocks firing on a cold Thursday evening in Christchurch, and that's what you have to do, get the jump on your opposition and be up for the challenge in a 1v1 playoff game.
100%. You know yourself, Carl. It's whoever turns up on the day. Well, that gets past shortstop and will dribble into left field with another runner scoring. With Murray now safe on first base. And that is going to bring to bat Hunter Bailey, the pitcher. He's going to have a hack. Well, Carl, an experienced coach, experienced player. Of course, you've played for many years. What would you be saying to the boys from Shirley with this early batting display from Alfriston?
Yeah, I think they've got to keep the energy up in the field and just get out of this innings first and foremost, and not go into their shells too early in the game. It's a long way to go. They're a team that scored a lot of runs through pool play as well, so they've got the talent there to do it.
Yep.
Just making sure that they don't go quiet out there in the field, and keep battling away, chipping away, 1 run, 2 runs at a time.
Yep. Well, that's what they've been doing throughout their games. It's been a bit different leading the game, though. But one thing I have noticed throughout this secondary schools tournament, regardless of the score, I haven't seen the heads drop yet. You know, and it is very, very easy, especially, 7-0 in the top of the second. But hopefully this is another one where the boys just keep on charging forward, keeping their heads up and supporting each other.
Yeah, a lot of pride playing for your school team at a tournament like this. So.
Oh, yeah. I still get 1 rugby game a year for my old high school, my old college, and yeah, it's a very proud day. Probably get about 10 minutes on the field and then a few hours with the boys, but it's it's always good to have the boys back together in the colours of the Cambridge blue and white. Fouled down the hot corner. Takes the count to 2-2. Is your high school in this tournament?
No, I don't think they probably ever have played in a secondary schools tournament. Had a lot of softballers at my high school, Hornby High School, in fact, in Christchurch.
Right.
A lot of rec players, but unfortunately we couldn't qualify.
Yep.
Up against a strong Aranui High School back in the day, actually.
Okay.
Aranui was very good. Shirley boys also had a lot of softballers.
Another big shot to shallow right, where Leroy Sherry did everything he possibly could to get to that ball, hustling in, even making the dive, but couldn't just gather it in time. And now a runner on second base and another runner score at home. And that's going to bring to bat Vailin Tapaki, their 9th batter of the innings.
It's a tough one. Right field's playing pretty deep out there, and you'd think off the bat that would have probably travelled a little bit further, and it just died out there.
You see here from the replay, ball, he did everything he possibly could to get to it.
Yeah, and that fly ball ended up probably 4 steps out of the infield in the end. So she's moving around up there a little bit.
Clips the outside corner for the strike called. And the count now is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on 2. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Fouled away.
Can't ask much more from your pitcher at this point. Throwing plenty of strikes, giving opportunities for his field to get the outs.
That's exactly what Rico Ratu is doing. Another foul ball. Can hit them away all day. Gets him swinging for the strikeouts as his team has a chuckle at him as he runs back to the dugout. But that will do it for the top of the second innings, but not before Alfriston add 5 runs to their total. We go to the bottom of the second. Alfriston 8, Shirley Boys High School 0. Welcome back to Dynasty Ballpark here in beautiful Christchurch for the 2023 Softball New Zealand Secondary Schools National Championship. It's boys Division 1 time. It's the major semi-final, A1 versus B1. Winner books their spot in tomorrow's grand final on Championship Friday, and the loser taking on the winner of the minor semi-final being played on Diamond 2 right now. I know St. Patrick's College Silverstream's over there, but I'm not too confident in who the other is. Beads. It is St. Beads. Yes, we joked about a good old traditional against Beads and Pats before. Escaped my memory. St. Pat's plays 6 traditional games a year, and one of them's against St. Beads. I don't think they've ever had one in softball, though.
No.
More first 15 or first 11.
Traditional rugby schools, that's for sure. But when you've got a sprinkling of a few softballers and a couple of parents or a teacher that's keen on.
Well, the parent that's keen on helping is Craig Wallace over there, so that's all right. That was my school with my 3 or 4 ballers and the rest cricketers when I was back then. I think we were actually national champions in cricket back then. It was very much a cricket school. But now it's awesome to see all of them over there, all ballers.
Yeah, and a sprinkling of Hutt Valley players, no doubt. Age group players down here as well. I did.
I managed a few in the under-17s. But it's all happening on Diamond 1. The major semi-final, Alfriston have turned up with an early lead here, but Shirley Boys High School, they're here to play as well. They've proven they've got the goods throughout this tournament. And all they need to do is just keep on chopping away like they have been doing in their previous games And they'll stay competitive in this one. They can definitely put bat to ball. Wise on the bases.
Yep, 4, 5, 6 in the order, so a good chance to get things going and get the spark going for the Shirley boys side. And there he is, lead-off walk.
That's what you want from your lead-off to get on base. Leroy, Sherry. And now that's going to bring to bat the catcher, Kairo of Sefo. He's been putting bat to ball as well. Another catcher that can slam it when he needs to.
Exactly the time when they need it right now.
Yep.
And not going to be expecting too much short ball with an early score line like this. They've got to hit their way out of it.
They sure do. Good aggressive bounce off the first base by the runner. And one thing I've seen all through this tournament is the catchers not being afraid to throw it. Trying for pickoffs at 1, 3, or even 2.
Yeah, I love to see that. Nice and energetic from a catcher, keeping the runners on their toes. Puts that doubt in their mind around how big their jump's going to be the next time round.
Well, that one was a strikeout and the first out of this innings. And that's going to bring to bat Naoka Kennedy. Sees the first pitch for the strike with one down at the bottom of the second here. The dribbler out to second base. Can't collect the ball. Will Shirley score their first run? And they do through their leadoff. Leroy Sherry. And that's why you run out everything. Smacking it into second base. And now you're standing up on third. You'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Capitalising on that small little error there. Could have been a double play potentially, and ended up they score one run out of it. Good aggressive running there from Shirley boys. Hopefully that's a spark for them this innings to knock in another one. They've got a runner on third now.
Well, we said that they need to keep on chipping away, and that's exactly the start that they needed. One down here in the bottom of the second with a runner in scoring position. And Blake Knighton, the centre fielder, into bat, will be the second out. And that's going to bring up the 9th spot. Designated player, Keegan Piper. Designated player batting at 8. Fair enough.
So 8 hitter up. Still got the runner on third, so still an opportunity here with the DP.
Back of the box hitting. The curls out the back. I hope that's not another mullet. They're everywhere these days. You should see some Bernards. Oh, wow.
Anything goes with the haircuts these days, I think.
As long as nobody brings back the fringe, mate. Those were terrible days. Two down here in the bottom of the second. Runner in scoring position. Goes swinging at that one. First base coach thought it was the third strike. Kept on, started to walk towards the dugout. Got reminded by the umpire. Fouled away on the rise.
Yeah, nice and aggressive there, but pitchers hanging in there as well, throwing plenty of strikes. could be wrong, but I think the picture out here might be in the Junior Black Sox program somewhere along the lines.
Well, we've got a sprinkle of them all over the ballpark this weekend. Junior Black Sox and Junior White Sox. A few developing Sox as well.
Mm.
Well, hit back to the pitcher Hunter Bailey, who makes the play to first, and that will be the third out, but not before Shirley Boys High School score their first run. But Alfriston lead this one 8 runs to 1. We'll be back at the top of the third right after this.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh yeah, feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
So sponsorship from New Zealand Carbon Farming has been fantastic for our sports teams actually who went away to tournament week. We're a community who's driven by sport, but often money and the cost of travel and the cost of accommodation and uniform can be a barrier for some of our students. So to be able to have the support of New Zealand Carbon Farming has been fantastic this year.
It's been used to get new uniforms and all that sort of thing. It makes us look a lot better than being in older uniforms from 2000s. It's good that it's reversible as well. Yeah, so you don't get confused with the other teams. Yeah.
One of the things that our students get down on, if you like, in sport is not looking as good as the other team, and to come out with a new uniform for a number of sports, particularly our basketball teams who have been away at nationals, has been uplifting for the students, for our students and for our community. The support from Carbon Farming has been wonderful.
Big thanks to New Zealand Carbon Farming for everything they've done for us.
Without them, then we wouldn't look like this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dynasty Ballpark for the major semi-final of the Division 1 Boys Softball New Zealand Secondary Schools National Championship. If you want some softball supplies, I wonder where you could look. Maybe that website. They're downstairs if you're around. Come and have a check. Pay respects to Brad Rona's jersey up there. Why is there no Canterbury New Zealand jersey up there? I mean, you're not going to go past B-Man, of course, but surely there's someone else.
I'm sure Barty.
Barty, come on, Barty.
Barty might have a
Where are you, Barty?
Around.
Come down and see us, mate.
So the 9 hitter, the left-handed hitter, third baseman.
The adrenaline's probably still coming down from that shot to the hot corner before. Yuki Mori. Have you ever seen anyone in the stands during a softball tournament during our summer? Well, no, it's not summer anymore, but beanies, scarves, Kathmandu, big jackets.
Yeah, 100% most seasons, Damien.
Is this a Christchurch thing, is it?
No, not at all. I was actually going to say 1, Atiawa Park,
okay,
and 2,
all right, settle down.
2, Fraser Park.
All right, just pass the buck there. I feel deflection, Carl. I'm feeling.
You set yourself up for that one, to be fair.
I sure did.
Nice pitch by Hunter Bailey. Picks up the 9 hitter with the strikeout.
Well, it's going to bring up the top of the shop. Dane Jorgensen, the left fielder, just getting a second bat of the game. It's usually Shirley boys that are running amok.
They certainly have been the first couple of days of the tournament. Number of hitters with some healthy averages over the past couple of days. Dane being one of them.
Leaves the up top pitch for the ball. One down here in the bottom of the third. Alfriston by 10 runs. But Shirley.
Oh.
Yes, call him safe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he was trying to be a little bit cheeky there, but it backfired.
Absolutely, did it ever. Yeah. Or was he thinking that his second baseman was going to come across and cover him? I don't think he needed him. That's for sure. He is 2 steps off the base and pays the price for letting him on.
Second was there pretty quickly. But they've given him a runner. And now a big foul ball. Well, here's the replay, Carl. Ball goes down to first base. And I don't know if he realized.
I think he was giving.
I think he went to give it.
To the second
and
base.
I don't think he actually realized where the runner was. Because let's be honest, that's why you run it out.
100%.
100% why you run it out.
You got a lead-off left-handed hitter in the box. He's normally one of your speed men. And full credit to him.
Oh, I've seen it many times. Someone will ground out to the first baseman and, just waltz back to the dugout, if you will. But that's exactly why you run it out. Shirley boys, they keep that out up their sleeve. Good catching. Good camera work from Ignacio Gatti on the high home cam.
Nice and aggressive from the catcher. Got a few runs to play with. Why not throw it around?
Rico Ratu fouls that away.
See if the Shirley side can capitalise on getting this runner on base here. Right part of the order. Ratu, one of their leaders, Kumara, in the 3 slot. They can string a couple together, pull it back, just bring that scoreline a little bit closer together.
Fouled off, goes straight back. And once again, nobody tries to take it in the grandstand. But at least this time it didn't hit anyone. 1 ball, 2 strikes the call. Rico Ratu gets a slower pitch, slams it out to left field.
Yeah, nice piece by Rico. Hard hit ball.
Moves the runner into 3.
Yeah, good aggressive running. Hard hit ball to left field. At times, normally you'd see the runner park up on second, just station to station, but got a good jump. Runners in scoring position now for Shirley. Right part of the order, 3-hitter up.
Yes, runners on the corners now. Ratu puts his head down and gasses it to second base. Alfriston will just let him do it. And Hapini Kumarua now in a bat.
With runs to play with there, probably Alfriston could have had a crack at the runner there. Probably doesn't matter too much giving up a run from third base. Let's try and get outs.
Down low, will take the count to 3 balls. 3 balls, no strikes.
Bailey, the pitcher, a little bit cautious with Kumaro at the plate.
Three and 0 count. Goes for the walk-off thing, thinking it's the inside pitch, but 9 out of 10 times that ball's going to be down the middle.
Normally get a little bit of leeway, the pitcher, on a 3-0 count. Put it somewhere close, it's going to be a strike.
Well, it gets it between the 5-6 hole. They'll score 1, Shirley. They'll score another. And they've clawed 2 back. Here in the bottom of the third, we're still 2 outs up their sleeve.
Nice and aggressive and a good hitters count. 3-1, 3-hitter up, 2 runners in scoring position, and does the business for Shirley boys. 11-3.
I think. Oh no, it's just for the guards. The way they were indicating, I thought they were sending him to 3 for some reason, but no. Well, Shirley boys now with a runner on second base. Clawed a couple of those runs back to now be sitting on 3. And with a runner on and 1 down, that's going to bring to bat the right-hander, right-handed as well, but right fielder Leroy Sherry.
Nice and aggressive. Little bobble from the catcher. Jumps on it.
Doesn't even hesitate to gun it down to third base. Still can't get over that coach running around in green pine Jordan 3s. Been wanting those shoes for ages, and look at the state of them. Oh my God. Carl, I like shoes.
I can tell.
Everyone around in softball New Zealand probably knows that as well. Fouled away by Sherry. Ooh. Good base running, good sliding on the outside, knowing that the ball was going to get thrown from home.
Minimum sack fly here. You'll be wanting from your 4-hitter. Runner on 3. Less than 2 out.
The aggressive pop-up from the catcher. Love to see it. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down in the bottom of the third. Hunter Bailey on the hill with his wind-up. Fouled away from Sherry.
sprinkling of Richmond Cares players in this lineup for Shirley boys as well, actually.
Yeah. There's a couple PCU helmets out there as well.
And here's your sack fly, and honestly thought that one was going to stay fair, but it just goes to show how much that ball's moving around out there. And the right fielders today have had a heck of a challenge on their hands.
They sure have. Getting their steps in for sure. 2 balls, 2 strikes to call. Leroy Sherry, right fielder for Shirley boys, in at bat. Good little battle here. Another foul ball. He gets a piece of that, sending it to left field.
Left field running around in
One
circles.
bounce to the fence. Left field looked everywhere trying to find that in the air. And it just went straight over him with one bounce to the fence. And that's some good hitting from Leroy Sherry. And he'll go sliding into third base, scoring another run for Shirley boys. And they're on the comeback now.
Yeah, nice cut. Ball uppish in the zone. Asked for a minimum sack fly and got a bonus out of it by snaring himself a triple. Take that every day of the week.
Absolutely.
So pass the bat on to the next guy. Exactly what Alfriston have been doing the first couple of innings. And see if Cairo can come up with the goods this time round.
Cairo Sefo, the catcher for Shirley Boys High School, hits a foul down the third base line. Well, we're almost in an hour into the plate of this one. Start a little bit later than the 5:15 start. Of course, the grand final will be 7 innings, but these games are an hour and a half. Or 90 minutes, whatever you're inclined. Kairo Sefo, the catcher for Shirley Boys. Is that going to bob? Ooh, good catch.
And what's the runner's taken off? I'm pretty sure that was only one down.
It was only one down. The runner probably thought, to be honest, it wasn't probably the 2 down run. He probably thought it was going to drop in no man's land. But the big palm of Colin Bailey went up and caught it. And that will retire the side but not before Shirley Boys High School add another couple runs to their total. They still lead this one though, as we'll go to top of the 4th, 11 runs to 4. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here in the major semi-final of the 2023 Secondary Schools National Championship. It's Alfriston taking on Shirley Boys High School. It's the top of the fourth, with Alfriston leading this one 11 runs to 4. Well, Carl, what do you do to slow down this batting display that Alfriston have put on against the Shirley Boys?
Yeah, good question. I thought when the Shirley Boys side started to mix up their pitch selection a little bit more with bringing the change up into play and trying to keep the hitters off balance, because they were timing up Rico pretty well the first couple of innings. And they had a fairly close, a pretty quick innings last time around. Limited damage. Just got to get quick outs here. Probably time isn't on their side, unfortunately. And it's been an absolute run fest from both sides. You probably wouldn't sneeze at 4 runs yourself from Shirley Boys after 3 innings, but the fact that they've given up 11 makes that job a little bit tougher.
I just saw Rico Ratu trying to heat up his hands. I think they might need to take the packs off Alfriston. We'll share them around, maybe tag in and out. But it's cold for the lads out there. And if your pitcher's trying to warm up his hands in between pitches, oh dear.
Yeah, well, this week's probably been the worst that we've had down here all summer, to be fair. I know we've had a pretty rough season of softball all around the country.
All over the country, mate. Hard shot to centre field. One bounce to the centre fielder, where Blake Knighton gets the ball and throws it in. But a lead off of Hunter Bailey doing the job. And that's going to bring to bat Valen Tapaki from first base, who sees the first pitch for the strike.
Still going with the same tactic, Alfriston, trying to get their runners into scoring position. Just trying to keep this lead that they've got ticking along, scoring each innings. Bailey down there at first base, he's having a whale of a game. He's on track to hit for the cycle, to be honest. Triple in the first, double in the second, and now leads off the fourth with a single to centre field.
And he's going to steal a base as well. Wow. I know it went past, but he was already well on his way.
Definitely showing he's got the skill set, that's for sure. The only thing counting against him to hit for the cycle was probably that stiff headwind.
Well, he's now, I was going to say standing up on second base, but he was just having a moment there. 2 balls, 1 strike the count here in the top of the fourth. Hits that. They'll tag up the lead runner, get the out at 1 for the force, and that will be the first out here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, nice play by the shortstop, Hapani. Check the runner. So had to double pump him. He knew he had some speed. Hold back on the throw, and easily takes the out over at 1.
Jazan Tapaki in a bat now for Alfriston. And he does the old couple metre lead, and then when it's thrown back to the pitcher, it takes off. So
delayed steal.
Yes.
Don't see that one very often. But playing with confidence.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to have a pinch hit here. Xylon Leaf will come in for a hit. Just the one down here in the top of the fourth. Hunter Bailey on third. Leaf in the batter's box. Rico Ratu doing everything he can on the hill for the Shirley Boys High School.
Yeah, been really impressed with his pitching, actually. Haven't seen him play too much, but throwing plenty of strikes. on a wet, cold afternoon. What more can you ask for?
Yes, absolutely. They haven't turned on the lights yet, though. So, still a bit of light out there. Even a bit of blue sky there, Carl. And gets him looking for the strikeout call. And that's going to be the second out on the top of the fourth. And with 2 down, that's going to bring a bat. Another batter coming in for a hit. Christian Rosehill.
Yeah, great opportunity to use your bench in this situation. Control the tempo of the game. Got a few runs on the board. Just keep chipping away.
Clips the outside zone for the strike called. Rosehill goes closer to the home plate. And with 2 straight, puts him in the hole. 0-2. And gets him swinging on the third for the strikeouts. And he has a bit of a laugh as well, looking to the outfield where he would have hit it. Well, that's going to do it for the bat with Alfriston. What do Shirley Boys High School have in order for their answer? We'll find out at the bottom of the fourth right after these. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dynasty Ballpark for the major semi-final of the 2023 Secondary Schools Division 1 National Championship. Thanks for joining us here, wherever you may be. I know you've mentioned the cold night. Well, I've got a few texts back home, and apparently it's even worse. So you wouldn't be surprised at all, I'm sure.
No, not surprised at all. No.
Well, Shirley Boys, it's bat now. They're going to lead off with Naaki Kennedy in second base. Naaka, sorry. What's the green uniform in Canterbury?
Green's Richmond.
Richmond,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So a few green belts out there.
Yeah, I noticed.
And Kennedy, I think he might be with their reserve grade side.
Big swing and a miss for the strike. Oh, and 2. A lot of movement in that batter's box.
Yeah, every batter's got their wee quirks in terms of how they get themselves set.
Absolutely.
Some like to wave the bat around, some are dead still.
Goes swinging at the rise pitch there for the strikeouts. And that will be the first out of the bottom of the fourth. And that's going to bring to bat Noah Hall coming. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Noah Hall coming in for a bat. Number 31. Sees it go through Main Street for the strike called.
Lives and breathes as softball, young Noah. Been around it for a long, long time.
That is definitely not Blake on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Just outside. 1-1. Rough nickname. Inside for the ball.
Just need some base runners here, Shirley boys. Just to try and keep chipping away at that margin. Pitch selection there, just a little bit off from Noah.
There we go. There's the right name on the screen. Noah Hall coming in for a pinch hit. 3 balls, 2 strikes is the call. And he takes the walk.
Oh, I think everyone was waiting around for a different call there, but that must have been close. But nevertheless, gets the job done for his team. Comes
That's
in with
one.
a pinch at bat.
Oh, well, there you go.
Let's have a
How
look.
close was it?
Oh, no, yeah. No, good call by the umpire. A little bit up.
Now in is the designated player, Keegan Piper, for the Shirley Boys High School team. Leaves that alone for the ball.
A lot more patient, these lower order hitters from Shirley boys. Just need to keep chipping away. Make the battery work really hard for the out. Get on base for their top order, who's been doing the damage. Had a good last innings, the Shirley boys side. Stringing together 3 or 4 hits. Another one down in the zone.
3 balls, 1 strike, the call. 1 down with a runner on 1. I'm sure Noah wants to do some running out there. Swung on a miss will load the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Connect is straight up the middle. Noah has a look at coach at 3. Decides to stay at 2. Shirley, that's what they needed. A runner on 1, a runner on 2.
Yeah,
1 down in the bottom of the 4th.
Station to station. Dad down there coaching on 3rd, Craig Hall. Can't afford to throw away outs here at this stage of the game.
Yuki Mori in at bat now. Hits it down his counterpart in the
Spinner.
hot corner. And that will load the bases for Shirley. And here we go.
Now's the time. Wee bobble there by the 3rd baseman. Came off the cap of the bat. Spinning out there on the turf. Didn't give himself a chance to make it out. And top of the order up.
It is the top of the order up. Alfriston coach is out there having a hui with his infield. Are they going to make a pitching change? Are they going to leave him out there? Or is it just calm down, boys, just keep on doing what you're doing?
Yeah, no panic. They got runs on the board. Yeah, middle part of the game, time getting away on Shirley boys in this one. They've got to capitalise and knock a couple more in.
And we've still got 2 outs up their sleeve here in the bottom of the 4th. And with getting those couple runs in the last at bat,
so we know Dane's got speed. Beat out an infield single down to first base, so can't afford to leave it to chance, the defence from Alfriston.
yeah, lefty with wheels. I haven't seen him look like he's going to slap yet, but maybe that's coming.
Time for the long ball, Damien.
Yeah,
Load
absolutely,
of bags, one
absolutely.
down. Open the shoulders up. He's got to get the right pitch for it. Patient from the lead off. 3-0 count.
Three and 0. Will it be down the zone? Will it be inside? It should be about that time, shouldn't it?
Time to flip the light switch, maybe. It's getting a bit dark out there. Nice pitch by Bailey.
You've just got 2 new turfs, mate. No money for the power bill. Oh, you got speakers up there as well. Well, 3-2 now. Bailey coming back. But that will be up in the zone, and that will drive in the run. Or bring in the run, sorry, of Noah Hall, who crosses home plate with a massive smile on his face.
Yeah, great job by the young kid. Need to be a wee spark for the Shirley boys side in the 4th innings, chasing the game. Just sense a little bit of a momentum shift the last innings, actually.
Yeah.
Shirley boys hitting back with three runs in the 3rd, and then a quick innings on the defence, and then bounce straight back into the offence. Load of bags, 1 down, 2, 3, 4 hitters up. Here we go.
We're in for a big finish, I'm sure. Well, they get the force at home of the lead runner. Yeah, but it keeps the bases loaded. And we're still at the top of the order here. The shortstop, Hapini Kumarua, into bat now. Can he find a gap?
Outfield playing deep.
Sees it go through for the ball.
Find a bit of green, he'll score 2, maybe 3.
You can say that here. Fraser, we can't say find a bit of green, because that could be foul. That could be infield. Yeah.
Could be a bunt.
Yeah, it could be a bunt. Two balls, 1 the counts. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded. Shirley Boys High School on the comeback here. The voices are getting louder down there for their home side.
Again, nice and patient from Hapini. He was actually the lead-off hitter for the Canterbury 19 side at the recent Nationals here in Christchurch back in January.
How'd you get on that one?
Here's a piece. And he's lost it, I think.
He has indeed. That's going to score 1, 2. He's going for it. The in the park home run. Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hapini Kumarua sends it to right field, where unfortunately the right field just lost it in the sky. Tapaki couldn't get to it. And with the wheels gassing around the park, he clears the bases and scores himself.
Yeah, fantastic from Hapini. That's the experience. You know, I think that's a routine out, never giving up on it and hustling it out, running hard.
And you talk about never giving up there, Carl. Well, look at how this game has changed. 11-1 just a couple innings ago. Alfriston were up. And now we have a ball game of 11-9.
She's a runs fest, this one.
She sure is.
It's what the fans want to see.
You know, looking at the time, we could be close to time up. But, of course, they're in at bat, so they'll just keep on going. Well, second conference on the hill.
They've got to make a change.
They have to make a change.
As I understand it. I could be wrong, but...
I was sure of it. I could be wrong as well.
Yeah, second time the coach comes out of the dugout, I'm pretty sure he's got to make a change, and sure enough he is.
I think they have. Yeah, they have. He knew what he was doing. We were just making sure. Coming into pitch.
Third baseman, in fact, coming in for a hurl.
Richard Murray to Rudy. He's going to finish out the game for Alfriston. Let's just see on that replay again.
Nightmare place to field tonight, isn't it?
Yep.
Right field. Neither side has had much success out there. Shirley boys making a late charge, and Alfriston trying to shut the door with the pitching change. Not sure if we'll go another innings just yet, but
well,
see if they got one last shake.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's pretty close to time being up for this major semi-final. There's still a chance for whoever comes second in this one. Grounded out to the hot corner. Who can't make the play. Shirley boys with another base runner to play with and keeping that out up their sleeve. Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, it's a tough ask for the pitcher coming in. He's coming in cold.
Yep.
No warm-ups,
No
or
warm-up.
might have thrown a couple out there. But
5 pitches in as a warm-up. Gets that early, sends it left field. Comes in, scoops it up. Holding them up at 2. And Shirley boys high score with 2 runners on. Sending out the temporary runner just in case they have to play again go into fielding again. And coming up for Shirley boys is Naka Kennedy from second base. 2 runners on. Down by 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Leaves the first for the ball.
Got to be patient here. Haven't seen too many strikes just yet from the pitcher. As I said, he hasn't had too much of an opportunity to warm up. Build the pressure. Capitalise on the mistakes.
He leaves that one as well for the 2-0 count. Swung on a miss for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Good hitting count.
Kennedy, who started the innings at bat.
Good take there. Make the pitcher work hard. Yeah, gone through the order this one, haven't they?
They have indeed. At the right moment. Fouled away. We'll give him another shot. But it is loaded with 3 balls, 2 strikes. who will book their place in tomorrow's grand final of the Division 1 secondary school boys.
We've got some lights on.
Oh, that must have hurt us.
Yeah, well, it's a close one, and I'm not sure. Are we looking at a tiebreaker here?
I hope you haven't just jinxed it. But yes, that's what Shirley Boys High School will be wanting for sure.
Long way to go yet. 11-9. Runners 1 and 2.
Is that no man's land, or is that going to be caught? That is going to be caught by Jackson Tapaki at second base. 4 innings completed, and I think that is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Tip of the cap for the comeback from Shirley Boys High School, but just wasn't enough to get past the line. They'll get a second chance, though. They'll take on the winner of whoever won between St. Patrick's College, Silverstream, and St. Bede's College. But Alfriston have booked their spot in tomorrow's grand final in the Division 1 Boys National Secondary Schools Championship. Carl, wow. How'd you find that one, mate?
Yeah, two quality teams going at it. I think the only difference was Alfriston, quick out of the blocks, put the pressure on early, and I think there was 5 or 6 on the board, pretty quick, smart, and Shirley was always chasing the game, and that's what bet them in the end. They fought hard right to the end, but potential there. They'll take that confidence into tomorrow, I'm sure.
100%. Well, could we have just seen a final before the final, maybe?
Well, hopefully neither team has actually played their final. You know, you want to
well played.
take the lessons out of that one and be better tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, Carl, appreciate you coming in and calling the colour on that one, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed that game between Alfriston and Shirley Boys, but it's all done and dusted here on day 3 of the 2023 Softball New Zealand National Secondary Schools Championship. On the behalf of the team, Caitlin Davison, Ignacio Gatti, Joe Fariso on the graphics, Adrian Roll behind the desk, calling the direction is Jason Gerby, aka Chopper, Carl McElroy calling the colour, Damien Collins on the play-by-play. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on Whakata Māori, Ballpark Broadcasting, Atiawa Toa FM today. We will see you tomorrow for Championship Friday.